Slave money. Buy you what you want. Slave money. Go buy you what you want. Slave money. You want. Slave money. Go buy what you want. Slave money. Slave money. They got that money. Got the slave money. Slave money. Go buy you what you
UAE
want.
prosecutors have ordered the arrest of a man who filmed an arrogant social media video inside a luxury car showroom in the country. According to a report by state-run news agency WAM,
Slave money. Buy you what you want. Slave money. Go buy you what you want with the slave money. Money looking from my ancestors. They buying what they want. Got that slave money.
Shalom, shalom, beloved, and welcome to rYse Radio, a ministry of RBM, where it is our duty to equip and empower you to help prosper you in the Most High Yah and bring together Zion in one mind and on one accord. Now, King and our Messiah, Yahshua, the line of Yehuda, Judah. My name is Loay, and it's a pleasure to be with y'all here today on this sixth day. We're, currently uh, on the eve of the Shabbat, right? This is the sixth day of the week, according to our ancient Hebrew calendar that we observe here, that is based on the cycles of the Kodesh, the phases of the moon. And we're doing a little commentary. Today is a special day, and I wanted to do this sooner. However, um, challenging circumstances, prevail. But better late than never. All right. And we praise the Most High for another day. This is the day that He has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And so, we wanted to come by and do a brief meditation on the day of Yahuwah, the day of the Lord. Some may call it the day of our King. And we praise the Most High Yah for Yeshua, our salvation. And this is His day. We're in Passover season, the countdown to Shavuot. And again, on the eve of our next Shabbat, the final Shabbat for the month of Zion or Shteym, the third month on our ancient Hebrew calendar. And we're approaching the fourth month, and during the fourth month, of course, we observe Shavuot, you know, um, which is also called the Feast of Weeks, that begins from, you know, the Feast of First Fruits, the day we believe that our Messiah was resurrected, or at least it had became knowledge to his disciples, and Mary Magdalene first realized it. If you read the scripture, it says the first day of the week after the Shabbat, and so the Feast of Unleavened Bread is a week long. And normally after Shabbat is the first day of the week. In this case, coming up is going, this Shabbat is the last Shabbat, and then we have the beginning of a new month. And so we have a beginning of a new era when our Messiah was resurrected, and that whole it seems like everything was consolidated in that one week, and so with him, he was the first of a harvest, and that harvest would be the kingdom, right? So that's what the day of Yahuwah, the day of Yeshua, our King, is all about. And so again, the feast of first fruits being new life, resurrection, the day uh, the kingdom was manifested actually, and came into fruition, if you will. And we're keeping the oracles of the Most High Yah, His ordinances, His feast days, His Shabbats, because that's you have entered into that. You have entered into Yahuwah, right? And with what makes this what they may call it solar eclipse or the darkening of the Shemesh very unique is that again we're in the countdown from the feast of first fruits, looking forward to the feast of Shavuot, or the feast of weeks, and we're in the fifth week right now. Okay, and when you just kind of look at things, right, like what's been happening in the world. Of course, the world is at war. We know that, and tensions have risen with Iran getting in the picture, and just a whole lot going on in the Red Sea and the South China Sea. Um, there, we saw or witnessed, many witnessed the falling of the bridge there in Baltimore. And what's crazy about that is I was rewatching The Wire, and right now I'm in the second season. And that bridge that fell in Baltimore, and of course we want to pray for the families of the people affected, that the Most High will save their souls. You understand, during this time of judgment. And that bridge was actually in The Wire. Like if you look at the second season, that episode when um, I think his name was Nikki Sabaka. You had Frank Sabaka. He was like working for the union, trying to help the union prosper, and Nikki, that scene, um, the episode before the bridge was on, had appeared. They had like kind of stole a bunch of cameras from the dock and sold them to the Greeks. And the next day, the uncle had approached Nikki about it because they took this whole shipment of cameras and sold them. And right at the beginning, because The Wire, like a lot of times they have a scene before the show begins, and so his uncle had approached him. Frank Sabaka had approached his nephew Nicky about those cameras, and on that scene, he was at that very bayou where the bridge. You can see the bridge in the background and everything. So I think it's like the 6 or 7 episodes, something like that. But like I said, and it's crazy because I'm in the second season. And I've been watching the second season for like the last few weeks, when I can, and then this happens. It's very interesting, the timing, and then it happened on a Shabbat. It happened on a Shabbat, and then yeah, like mid-month Shabbat maybe, I think. And then last week you having earthquakes on the East Coast. You know, I'm looking at the time and the things. I do a lot of things behind the scenes, Zion, and like I know, apologies, I haven't been able to do commentaries like I really want. Um, However, I've been working. I still do outreach. I evangelize. I go to different places and speak the word. Try to teach others. Try to lift others up. Um, and um, I communicate with authority. I mean, I communicate with governments. Not there's a lot of things I do you don't see. you know. And the most I willing, I might get into that a little bit more. And like I said, I just look at the timing of things, you know. And of course, the last time we spoke, we talked about this image right here and what this is, and this door. We and we're gonna get. I don't have time to get into this because I really want to get this meditation out before the actual event of the solar eclipse. Like people really making the day out of it. Like it's amazing how this country, this world monetizes everything, man. Like it's like a big day. They selling the glasses, schools out. You understand? They're probably gonna be barbecuing, going to Cheddar's, Texas Roadhouse, and Applebee's. You understand? It's like a big old event, big spectacle. And they really don't know what's going on. It's just like, oh, it's cool. Wow, like the sun is not shining right now, and the moon is in front of. It's a whole lot going on right now that people are not aware of. And I'm gonna say real quick, I'm gonna get this out the way. I do not believe that um, we're gonna see our Messiah coming in the clouds today. Now, while I hope he does. Actually, I really hope he does. However, Scripture doesn't tell me that because of where we are right now. And however, he is like he's on the way though. So he's very much on the way. And will he appear? I don't know. We shall see. I'm just saying, from what scripture tells me, I don't think so. However, we're getting very, very, very close to that time. And what they call the day of the king. And so again, with this image, we kind of talked about how we have this door here. We'll talk about it more in the next meditation because you have a door representing Passover and what our ancestors had to do and paint the doorpost with the lamb's blood. And then you have a door where the lamb was laid after he died and was crucified. Speaking of our King, our Messiah. And now that door where he laid and was dead and buried is open. All right. And so it's a portal. And we've talked about portals on this channel before. When we talked about solar eclipses, we talked about the book of Enoch. I don't have time to get into it about how he talks about the submission and the commish and the kodesh, how they move in chambers. How you see the moon move across the sky, like it'll be in different places in the sky. It may rise up. You may see the new moon in the beginning of the month um, in one place in the sky, and then it shifts over. That is going into different chambers. And Enoch, the book of Enoch, talks about all of that. So if you haven't read it, I strongly encourage you to. Uh, and so, yeah, this is a portal. And when you have a portal, a doorway, something is, how can I put it? Something's either going to go in or come out. Okay. And in this case, let's find out. All right. Okay. So, um, now I just want to go over a few scriptures real quick from the prophet Joel. And I really don't have a lot of time to go into like the background of this prophet. I will say real quick, he is from the tribe of Judah, and I really think that just speaks volumes when it comes to this prophecy. All right, and so in Joel chapter 1, it says here that the king's word, the Most High Yah's word that came to Joel, the son of Pithiu, hear this, you elders, and listen, all inhabitants of the land. Has this ever happened in your days or the time of your fathers? You should tell your children about this and have them tell their generation or another generation after them. Tell them what the swarming locust has left and greatly eaten. Now, real quick, um, first off, I'm going to say this, all right, and this we go against the grain here because we've been going to, like, I'm just gonna say this real quick. I I believe that when Joel wrote this, he actually seen the Shemesh darken or solar eclipse for the first time. All right, and now he's saying to the people, like, um, has this ever happened in your days? Like in our days, have you ever seen the sun darken before? Right, and so of course, since then it's happened many times. That's because we're living in a time of judgment. All right, and we have been since the day our Messiah walked the earth, um, was crucified and resurrected, 70 A.D. We and 400 years here. So and so, and then you look at the 4 month Aleph representing. I heard another brother say something about it. Namore, one of the teachers in the household of Israel. One of his brothers was telling him about how that number, Aleph, in Hebrew, it represents the number 400. I thought that was interesting. And I fellowship too. I fellowship a lot with the people. I don't go, and maybe I should go by another, like, fake handle or something like that, but I really don't care, man. And because we're all in this together, and I love being in fellowship, and we're bouncing ideas off each other, and we're learning from each other. So that's very important, man, because there's too many egos, man, and we really got to learn how to be a community of prophets, man, and that's a whole nother story, man. In unison. Anyway, um, I don't want to digress too much on that. And this is Joel chapter 1 verses 1 through 9. You should read it. You should read all three chapters of Joel. I don't have time to read it. I want to get this out before the Shemesh is darkened this afternoon, and to Barak Zion, and to help encourage you to understand what we need to be doing right now. Okay. And so again, like I said, like Joel wrote this, he penned this whole thing. Like this is the first time he saw a solar eclipse. All right. And so is that because, like, this is how he started the whole thing. And this is the first time in scripture we ever read about a solar eclipse. It was the book of Joel, from the prophet Joel, or Joel, and or Yael. And and I believe it means the Most High Yah is Elohim, something to that effect. And so he continues to say, uh, again, tell your children about it and have them tell another generation after them what the swarming locust has left and greatly eaten, the grasshopper, the caterpillar, or you might hear like cankerworm, if you've heard that before. Um, then he says, wake up, you drunkards. All right. You should weep. You should wail, you drinkers of the wine, because um, the sweet, and for some reason, forgive me, what I put here is not all together, but follow with me and just read the script, read the text for yourself. And then he says, for the sweet wine is cut off from your mouth, for a nation has come on my land, strong without number. Their teeth are like lions, his fangs like lionesses. He laid the vines wasted, stripped. The fig tree, his bark is destroyed and thrown away. His branches made desolate. Um, you should mourn, Zion, like a virgin dressed in sackcloth, a husband to um, to his youth, a meal offering, the meal offering, the drink offering, all of that is gone. You priests of the house of Israel, you ministers, y'all need to be mourning right now. And so again, that's Joel chapter 1, verses 1 through 9. Now, what's happening here? What is he describing here? He's describing a famine. Okay, so first he's seeing this dark and Shemish, and now there's also a famine. All right. And most I willing, we're going to get more into this for the next Shabbat if we're still here. If we're still here, I believe that we will be. I think it's important though to understand, even once this passes, what happened, what just happened. All right, and so yeah, there's a famine, in the land. And if you go back to our previous meditations on the sixth trumpet, um, we um, we just about worked out our issues with the website, with had some security issues, and that write up would be there. It's timestamp about the sixth trumpet, about the fifth trumpet, um, COVID. Um, how in the book of Revelation it describes that it's the same description as these cankerworms, these grasshoppers that breed gregariously, and they mute, like they crossbreed, and like it's hard to stop them, right? So these um in this particular scripture in Joel chapter 1, these particular grasshoppers destroyed the crops, and I do believe it was during the month of Abib. I do believe that what made this particular famine so bad was that the first sign of the harvest, because during the feast of first fruits or the feast of unleavened bread, they look for um the barley, the grain, to manifest, and to like, because they've been sowing, and now they're waiting on the first harvest of the barley and the wheat, and they use that to present to the Most High. I think that during this particular year, this particular time when he wrote this, they did not have a harvest, and they couldn't observe the feast of first fruits. I really, that's, so, and man, wow, man, if you like really understand that, and our Messiah, it's mind blowing. It really is. And it's kind of like, you know, you remember, if and I didn't see the whole thing. I kind of skimmed through it, but like the remake, when Mister, uh, he did what he did. I ain't gonna lie. Our people were so messed up during our time and in captivity here. Before that, I mean, 70 AD, we just been messed up since what happened with our Messiah. And so we still dealing with the residual effects of that. And so, like, even in the movie, and I ain't, I love our women, and I believe our women should be protected and up there. I ain't really agree with everything about the movie. I just, yeah, I think we need to. I mean, it was well made, though. It was well made. You know, I would just say our people were messed up, man. And anyway, I don't want to digress into that too much. But the thing is that when he did what he did, mistreated, I think her name was Celie, right? And she left, um, and he went out. I tried to get a picture of the scene. I couldn't get it. But if you remember when he went out to harvest the crop or check on the crop, he said the land was cursed, right? He said it was cursed, and like some bugs, the caterpillars had gotten to it and destroyed it, so he had to burn the land. And so that's kind of the same thing that happened during the time of Joel, right? And he continues to say in verse 10, he says, "The field is laid waste, the land mourns, for the grain is destroyed. The new wine has dried up, and the oil languishes. Be confounded, you farmers." And this is Joel chapter 1. We're still in chapter 1. We're in verse 11 here. He says, "Be confounded, you farmers. Well, you vineyard keepers, for the wheat and the barley, for the harvest of the field has perished. The wine has dried up, and the fig tree withered." And you already know what scripture refers to as the fig tree. That's symbolic of Israel, right? The pomegranate, all them pomegranates they charge $4 for, man. We were growing those, man. That's from my land. The palm